Welcome back to my front-end series. In this part, we're exploring a variety of HTML elements and their relationships, covering a range of key concepts including block and inline elements, as well as specific HTML structures. Let's start with block elements. These are the building blocks of web pages, typically starting on a new line and stretching the full width of their container. We'll add 4 different block elements to our body: an H1 for our heading, a P for paragraph, an OAL for an ordered list, and an article for a text section. Notice their unique line-breaking characteristic. That's what makes them block elements. As we progress, you'll see how these elements form the basic building blocks of web layouts. Moving on, let's add inline elements to our page. Unlike block elements, inline elements don't start on a new line. They take up only as much space as needed. We're adding a variety of inline elements like A4 links, strong for bold text, and EM for italicized text. We're placing these inline elements within our existing block elements to enrich our content. For instance, we can put a link inside a paragraph. This combination of block and inline elements is how we create structured and varied content on web pages. Remember, we're excluding the span here to focus on other inline elements. Next, we're going to explore the span element. The span is an inline container used to group or style parts of your text. It's a powerful tool for applying specific styles or scripts to sections of your content without disrupting the overall flow. In this step, we'll wrap several elements like our paragraph and strong text inside a span. This showcases how span can group multiple inline elements. The hierarchical structure of HTML becomes more evident here. We're learning how parent elements like span can contain child elements, shaping the structure of our content. Our final step involves creating a specific structure with our HTML elements. We'll be focusing on the relationships between elements, specifically parent-child and sibling relationships. We'll create a div element that contains a span as its child. Then we'll add an H1 element with an EM element inside it. The div and H1 are siblings in our structure. This setup demonstrates how elements can be nested and related to each other. Understanding these relationships is important. They help us structure our HTML more effectively and make it easier when we apply CSS styles later on. Parent-child relationships in particular are key to how elements inherit styles and interact with each other. We began with basic block and inline elements, learning how they form the core of web layouts. Then we saw the span element in action, perfect for simple yet effective text grouping. We touched on HTML hierarchy, highlighting the straightforward parent-child relationships in web design. And finally, we combined these concepts to create a basic layout focusing on parent-child and sibling elements for a clear structure. And that's it for this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.